This sneaker needs no introduction, you know exactly what you're here for. Let's talk the Nike Dunk Low in the Panda colorway. With all that being said, let's jump straight into how to cop this sneaker and the release information associated with it. This sneaker is going to be restocking again on the October the 14th, which is very soon, and it will be releasing in a full-size run of every single size you could possibly imagine. It's going to be men's sizing, women's sizing, toddler sizing, GS sizing, and even infant sizing. So there's 5 iterations of the sneaker that you have the chance to cop. And let me give you a spoiler alert. All of them are pretty much worth it. I'm going to leave on screen right now a list of all of the websites and stores that you can cop the sneaker from. Now, this is going to be a pretty easy sneaker to cop. Nike knows what they're doing. They know that this sneaker is very popular. They will be making a high supply and quantity of these sneakers. Both of the men and the female sizes will be retailing for a price of 110 USD. I think that's around 850 Australian dollars. The GS sizes are going to be around 90 USD. The infant size is around 65 USD or 50 USD, I'm pretty sure. Now, with all of those release information out of the way, the retail price and whatnot, it's undeniable that this sneaker has had such an influence over the entire culture recently. It's been so dominant in fashion, it's been dominant in reselling, and dominant in every other aspect of the culture as we know it. We've seen it everywhere. It's been memed on TikTok for how often these sneakers and how frequent the presence of these sneakers have been. They pretty much become the new white on white Air Force Ones, with how many people are rocking these, with how many people are paying attention to these. And it speaks volumes of how popular the sneaker is. Let's jump into resale predictions and investment insights. Now, contrary to popular belief, I actually don't think that you should be heading and prioritizing the men and the women sizing if you're strictly for reselling, because it is going to be hard enough and heavily contested as it is to compete for those sizes if you're heading into your local Foot Lockers, Nike stores and whatnot. I would actually recommend going for the GS sizes, because the GS sizes, those are going to be less contested. They're going to be cheaper as a low buying cost, around 90 USD, under 100. Those are pretty incredible. They retail for around 90 USD, and yet they're selling for 240 Australian dollars, around 200 USD. Whereas the other men and female counterparts, they're reselling for around 70% over retail for around 300 Australian dollars, or 280 Australian dollars, but they retail for 150. Those sneakers are probably going to be very hard to buy in a correct sizing. Whereas the GS sizes, they will mainly attract the sneaker bays, the hype bays, the female sneakerheads out there with the smaller feet that can take advantage of lower costs with the GS sizing. It's gonna make it easier for them to cop it, easier for them to wear it, as opposed to competing with the women's sizing, women's size 5, size 6. They're pretty much similar. So I would actually recommend going for the GS sizes, but if you can't secure, the size that you want in a men's or the female sizes. Overall, any iteration of the sneaker is going to be a good cop because they are in demand. They're going to be in demand. Right now, these sneakers are currently sitting at around a price of 280 to 300 Australian dollars. They've decreased significantly from their peak prices of around 500 Australian dollars, but that's to be expected because of the mass amount of restocks that they've seen. Like I said before, they've seen around 4 or 5 restocks. So the prices are going to continually drop in price as the restocks become more frequent. There's nothing we can do about that. It's simple economics with supply and demand. Supply increases, demand decreases. There's a new price equilibrium. But I don't think that these sneakers will drop any more significantly than they already have. I do think that these might drop to around 250 Australian dollars, but hey man, you're paying 150 Australian dollars for these sneakers. It's a low buying cost. High supply means that there's a low cost of investment. Even sneaker resellers with a low capital can purchase a lot of these sneakers and flip them for like almost 100% gains and profit. It's that simple. That's why these sneakers, I always recommend the Nike Dunks as a beginner sneaker if anybody wants to start their investing or sneaker reselling. Best and most profitable sizes I see for these sneakers are going to be pretty much any size, but I recommend sizes around 9 to 11. Those are the most common and those are the most easy to sell. For women's sizes, I would recommend smaller sizes, so size 5 to maybe size women's 8, but it's the most common size that you can sell, and there's a lot of more stock of those sizes. But yeah, I think that these sneakers will just sit at around 250 Australian dollars for the more common sizes, just because even though that these sneakers are really high in demand, since the restocks have been accumulating more and more recently, I don't see these jumping up in price significantly, just because there are a lot of other people that do have the opportunity to purchase these sneakers. It's going to be a great purchase. Any sizes are good, any version of these sneakers are good. And as for the hold or the sell now, I do think that if you sell these sneakers immediately, you won't lose out on the long term. I do actually recommend selling these sneakers when you get them. You don't want to be holding them for a while, just because you do run risk of Nike restocking these sneakers more and more down the line, which further depreciates the price. If you sell these, you won't be losing out. You'll actually be securing your profit. But yeah, that pretty much will wrap up this video. Hope you all enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. Good luck with copying. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care and peace.